All right, welcome back to Greenbox Gaming Plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. My name is Joe, and I will be your handler. Ooh, I like the enthusiasm from Dace. That's good. That's my good friend Dace playing Benji. He's hyped.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yeah.
Because I bring the good energy?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's about
Incentives.
damn time. You know? And I'm joined by someone who brings a much more muted but refined energy, Jean.
Yeah, boy!
They're so refined. And then the one who keeps this whole show going, who keeps us down to earth. Just it's more like a father than anything else, I would say.
He's
That's all I've ever
the
wanted
chef
to be.
of the submarine.
He's the chef of the submarine, if you will. Brad.
Grandpappy.
Yes, I would love for you to refer to me as Grandpappy from now on.
You got it, Grandpappy.
Chef Grandpappy.
Are you wearing hacker gloves, John?
He's
Always.
Yes.
I don't get out of bed without him.
Yeah.
Hacker gloves.
Next thing you know, we'll be wearing thigh highs. That's
You just can't
Is that
see
a thing
them.
that hackers wear?
It's a Reddit meme. That's about computer programmers. That doesn't matter. Anyway. So, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling? We just got done with our episode 1. How's it feel to be back in Delta Green? We took a little bit of a hiatus into, we did Reverb, and then we did the live stream. But now we're back. New year, new chapter. How's it feel to be back?
Feels good.
Yep.
Moving on.
Okay.
I missed the story.
Thank you for that.
I've missed these characters. I've missed these shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it's
Sorry,
go ahead.
we were just talking about, you and I, Joe, were talking about how there have been so many changes over the past year, and Delta Green has been like the one touchstone that's been consistent.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's nice jumping back into it. Feels like
And
pulling a comfy bed sheet over yourself and snuggling down into the warmth.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
this has
a
been the
weird
bane of
ride.
my existence.
Yeah, Brad's had a vastly different experience. I don't know. It's weird because like the nature of the game is supposed to be kind of dark and and mysterious. And you guys have said many times, like, "Well, how are you guys doing? Confused?" Like, it's like that's the nature of the mystery. But at the same time, it's just something we get to do together. Something we enjoy. And yeah, it has kind of been this stable thing.
I've made peace with the confusion. It's last session we were talking about note taking. That's probably why I stopped taking notes. 'Cause at this point, I'm just like, what's the fucking point? Like,
Living in the moment of Delta Green.
we're gonna do what we're gonna do.
What we're gonna do. Yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible, no thought to have.
No, we've got so much. We've got so many little breadcrumbs. It's like I can't go to sleep without thinking about these little breadcrumbs. Like, we got a map of Hotel Broadalbum. We've got all these connections. I've got a murder board in my head constantly about this.
Yeah.
And even when I'm playing, you notice I'm not really looking at you guys. I'm looking at the screen, just trying to piece things together. It's kind of obsessive.
One thing I really do like about the way they've written this is
If you read
they've
the
written it-
manual, it helps, John.
Yeah, if you just read if you read the actual book, yes, you'll really get a lot more. One thing I like about the way they wrote it is they really have written it where it's like things are really piecemealed out to you as you go. Like really, really. It's it's I don't know. I've got different stuff going on in my life, but it's like, with like grad school and we might be moving this year again.
And the court case.
And then the
impending court date.
The impending court date, which so there might be a bit of a hiatus. Just saying.
7 to 10 years.
7 to 10 year
Or-
hiatus.
God, I can't wait for the story for 7 or 10 years. No, it needs to be.
But-
I need to know what happens now.
With good behavior, we could get it down to as low as 5.
Well,
That's the good news.
and it'll probably be a minimum security facility, so I might be able to still do this with you guys. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
But yeah, it's just, this is an odd thing, I think that's one of the I don't know, like as adults, it doesn't seem like we just get together to do something that's just for us in a lot of other circumstances. You know, and this really is. This is just something that a bunch of friends just get together and do.
Yep, until one of us has kids, then it really will be on a 5 to 10 year hiatus.
Yeah, good boundaries. That's what it's about. Having good boundaries. That's coming from a guy who has had no kids, so doesn't know how hard it is. So, that's right. Speaking of things that we don't really appreciate how difficult they are, let's talk about evading manhunts, which is exactly what your characters are going to be up to this week. What a delight. Yes, what a delight. Last time, you guys kind of recovering from everything that happened with the Dorchester facility in Chapter 2. You guys got up and got out of that house, and you had a few realizations that were a little bit odd. Benji seems to be pretty confident that he can find these demons. Specifically these two who are apparently realtors? Like, that's kind of weird. Hank has something weird going on. Something weird going on with the cameras and Hank. And then Benedict had another one of these liquid mirror kind of experiences. But you guys managed to get to a little place called the Snooze Inn, a little bit of rent by the hour kind of hotel. You guys are going to hunker down, heal up, get off the grid. You're able to make nice with the people who work there. You think they've got your back. And you woke up and... Go ahead.
I was about to say, I was just doing moving us towards like the whole, sketchy hotel, pay the front person off thing just to play the paranoia aspect of Hank. But it seems like it might have helped. Since we're on the road, what if we actually went to like a hotel and like a nice hotel and just didn't give a shit about this? Like,
but here's the thing. So, like, Hank is paranoid now. And keep in mind, like, you're not having, like, an acute paranoia onset. Like, if you have a paranoia break,
right,
shit's gonna get real. Like, your paranoia is gonna go to 11. But it's funny because, like, Hank kind of has this underlying paranoia that he's acquired from his mental break. And now it's just been confirmed.
It's been validated, too.
Yeah, what happens when your paranoia is validated? So yeah, and you guys turned on the news in the morning and discovered that there you are. Apparently, you've been reported to the police as being escaped mental health patients, armed and dangerous, domestic terrorism. All the big exciting words that the people of Boston get out of bed to hear. And you feel like you were on the run. And I will say, to your benefit, to your credit, to all of your credit, you guys had all said, or I think it was Jean via Benedict had said, no more credit cards, no more electronic trails. And you guys may have been pretty well served by that. We'll find out how things go. But here we are, you guys. It is September the 17th. It is a Thursday. And we're going to say it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Now we're saying it's 9 o'clock. You guys slept in. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. You guys are wanted.
Joe, should we be keeping track of time, or is this mostly just to situate us in
That's kind of to situate you
in the day?
All right. I mean, if I were a good player, I would do that.
Oh yeah.
But none of you are good players, so it's
no, we're not.
This is true.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm also dealing with the gaslighting and the overflow into real life with messages being sent to certain players.
Yeah,
we should have some general boundaries about this shit.
Yes, okay. Yeah, and also Brad/Hank received a message saying that they owe Mr. Wild a story.
Area code starting with 616, which is the hotel room of the...
It was also the number of the that you when you were given that phone by Barbas. It was the number you typed into the phone.
It's also the present universe in Marvel for the multiverse. World
That's mentioned before. I don't know if that's a coincidence.
Well observed.
Yeah.
So just to lay down boundaries, Joe, I think you are allowed to fuck with us as long as it's within game hours. I don't want to get weird messages about Delta Green shit when we're not in Delta Green mode, okay?
I feel that is fair.
Yeah.
There's no reason to get into your day to day on this shit.
So,
All right.
if we, sorry, did we have more for the wrap up?
That's pretty much it. Here you guys are. It is time to go. It's time to do whatever the hell you think it is you need to do.
Well,
Benji
Hank-
says,
go ahead.
There's only one thing for it.
and he pulls out 3 vials of acid and he throws 2 on Hank and Benedict's face, and he pours a third onto his own.
You got to burn off your
Screaming
faces.
steam comes from our face.
Now nobody can recognize us.
Go ahead and mark the acid off of your character sheet. Make sure you take that off your
Cartoon
inventory.
acid. Hank, after seeing this interview or this on the news, he's like somewhat pissed and turns off the news and throws the controller. He's like, "Damn it! If we go to this realtor, we have to set up a private, meeting with her. We can't just walk through the door. And again, with this text, we could still go back to the hotel room if we want to do that beforehand. See if there's anything else there. I mean, see if this wild character's there, Wilder."
Hank, did you go out last night? He's like spat his toothpaste on the floor just in the middle of the room.
Well, I did. I had to admit the curiosity of what went on with the video and the front desk woman
damn
not remembering my name. I wanted to try to look through their videotapes if I
But
could.
that's the one we paid, right? The one we paid off.
Right?
Right.
What are you
Was
talking
she
about?
still
What
there?
went on for the video?
I'm just worried. Does anybody know we're here? Hank?
It's we don't know. It would be safe for us to change locations, I would reckon, and possibly put on a different license plate.
Is there anybody we need to persuade to be quiet?
I would let's just leave here is what I would do.
Okay, Benedict's out for blood, but I think he's not that out for blood.
I mean, the only person that saw me last night was a young man at the front desk, and I'm not sure.
What?
Well, young people don't watch the news. We'll probably stay for a couple hours.
And he works the night shift, so he's probably asleep, right? So-
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So what do y'all think? Should we reach out to Mr. Wild, or should we try to talk to these demons?
If I had my vote, I'd say go to the hotel first, and on the way there, try to set up a private meeting with the realtors later tonight, under the cloak of darkness.
Right. I'll give him a mind call.
Benji thinks real hard.
As one does.
How are we gonna stay? Our faces are out there now. What's our plan on that?
What if we,
We
wear
can't get
ski
around.
masks?
Yeah.
I'm sure that would
Go over
bring
really
less attention as we walk around with ski masks. I think we just have to play that by ear, Benedict. I don't, not go to more, not be out as public as little as possible,
If what I remember has anybody been in the theater? Has anybody got experience in the theater? As you people say.
I was in a couple plays when I was in high school.
Do you know any people who do makeup?
Yeah, my childhood friend Lisa lives in California.
Ah, that's convenient.
Should I give her a call?
I think so.
All right.
Hank can do well. All right. So if we were to look up, if we were trying to do a trade craft thing, that would be craft, right? Not necessarily stealth. Joe, for a roll. If we wanted to try to do something on that in that sense.
If you want to disguise yourselves,
Yeah.
you can. I Is there not a? I could have sworn there's actually a disguise.
Yeah, there is
skill.
a disguise. Is
It's one of those vague ones that doesn't get hit very often. There's a disguise skill. If one of you is better at it than the others, then you can do it for other people.
I got a 10.
I also have a 10.
I also have a 10. But I think Barlow has like a 70.
Who's Barlow?
Your brother Barlow in New York.
I seem to remember Barlow. He had.
Yeah, sure.
He's in the theater biz.
Why don't you reach out to Barlow and ask him to come to Boston?
Bring another one in.
Let's bring someone else in.
Hank tries to do as little as he can, but it's a failure.
Yeah, I see that.
And Benji also got a failure. He's gonna draw a mustache and Sharpie on his face.
Same. Also failed.
Yeah, Yeah, you guys know. You guys know that you failed. If you had gotten a critical fail, I would have said that you failed and didn't know. You thought your disguise was awesome. But you guys know that your disguise is kind of bullshit.
Hank, we've got that mask, don't we? We've got that special magical mask that we picked up from...
You guys have a cloak.
Samahina's cloak.
Yeah, Dace does have one. Or Benji does.
I think we need to figure out if we can maybe use that cloak in an emergency. How many people do you think fit under that cloak?
It's definitely
3.
It's definitely a one-person cloak.
2.5.
You know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know that it is a one-person cloak.
Okay.
Oh, are we? I just had to take my earbuds out. Were we planning on standing on top of each other like in the Three Stooges, or?
Like
no,
you're
we're
all
just gonna use the Samahina cloak.
Yeah, like you all stack up underneath it.
Yeah.
So have a text here on my real life phone from a number. Meet noon at Video Nation down the street on behalf of Mr. Wist. And the number is 914-764-2799, which doesn't mean anything to me.
Wist.
Noon at Video Nation on behalf of Mr. Wist. Who's Wist again? Is it Ed Wist?
Ed Wist.
It's Ed. He may be the reflection of Mr. Wild.
You guys, I will remind you about what I told you about Mr. Wist when you guys had found his file. Mr. Wist Ed Wist was originally the son of some like gazillionaire who apparently murdered both of his parents and his siblings via shotgun many years ago. He was on the news for a while. It was this whole big thing, and then he kind of disappeared. You think he might have gotten disappeared to the Dorchester facility. But he supposedly is the heir to this massive, massive fortune.
Why is he the mirror? What made us think about that? The mirror to Mr. Wild? Why'd you say that, John?
I think we saw a reflection in the mirror. I'm just going off what I wrote down on the board. And there was in the reflection of the mirror, we saw... It may have been Tim or Ed.
It was you guys in the basement of the McAllister building. You guys found a painting that had Ed Wist standing in front of a mirror, and reflected in the mirror was Mr. Wild.
Oh, wow, okay. Well,
Yes.
This sounds, hey guys, I just got this text on my phone. Sounds like kind of a promising lead, or it could be a setup that gets us all killed.
Honestly,
Who can
he's
know?
probably the person we can trust the most out of everybody.
He's also on the run.
And he's also somehow reaching into our real lives in the meta of this game and communicating with us there. So he obviously has some skills, some power.
Plane
He
walk.
knows his shit.
And we think he's like,
No, please continue. Sorry.
What do you think the chances are that he's like the real world reflection of Mr. Wild?
9 out of 10.
Alright.
Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the location and see who we see there.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, and keep in mind, you do have, again, you have this cloak. You have this cloak that you witnessed Esther Samahina use to disguise herself unnaturally.
Here's what I'm
that
thinking.
cloak.
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking. We go there. We just see if we see the guy standing outside this video store. We spot him. One of us throws on the cloak and sees what happens.
Benchy throws the cloak over the license plate on the van.
Wow!
Did I win the game?
You
Did I
win.
do good?
It just becomes like an AI image generated piece of art where there's a face on the van now in a weird location.
Super
With
smooth.
8 fingers on one hand.
Exactly. Okay, no, let's get out of here. Maybe we can scout ahead to see if anybody's gonna see us, and if there is, we try and clear the way, and let's try and get there undetected.
So,
Let's do it.
okay. So you're not going to mess with the cloak in all seriousness?
When
We'll
we
take
get
it
there,
with
we
us.
will.
Okay. All right.
No, we leave it at the hotel.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, you guys are able to kind of scramble out into the van. Yeah, we get to the van, and you kind of head out. And like, well, you could walk. It is very close. It's like literally like just down the street. You see a big sign for Video Nation, which appears to be some type of off-brand Blockbuster. It looks to still be in business, and this is a pretty rundown part of town. Like, this is the kind of place where you'd expect, prostitutes at night, and shady drug deals, and stuff like that. This is not a very nice part of town, pretty rundown, but it's kind of early in the morning. Everything's pretty dead. There's like a few gas stations, like 7-Eleven or two, and stuff like that. But yes, on the corner, right down the street, is Video Nation. You guys pull up in the van, and you see that there is a car sitting outside, just like kind of like your typical kind of sedan that looks a bit too nice for this part of town. It's like a Mercedes. Looks to be in very good nick. And you see that inside, you can see that there is what looks like, you can kind of see through the windows, through the glass. You can see that there is the lights are on, and the sign says closed, but you can see a man in a tan suit with a briefcase kind of just standing there about 5 feet back from the door, just kind of watching.
Alertness, of course.
Of course.
Let's do this. Success 32 under 74.
Okay. You do this alertness, and Hank is pretty sure that he can see someone toward the back of the store. You can make out what appears to be like the man in the suit. He's a little bit on the older side, maybe in his 50s, and he's very well dressed. There is a much larger man standing in the back, kind of your like NFL linebacker size motherfucker. Kind of standing in the back behind some of the stacks. He appears to be trying to remain hidden, or at least just standing back a bit.
I'm gonna stay in the van, and I will use the directional microphone to keep track of what you guys are saying. And I'm also gonna try I'll keep some video rolling in case this guy tries to backstab us or bribe us. We'll have something.
You probably use your phone or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this guy in the tan suit look... Have we met him before? Is anything...
Never seen him in your life.
No.
Let's wait and see what he does.
Okay. If you guys just kind of sit there and wait, he pulls out a phone and begins to fiddle with it.
Benji pulls out his shotgun and uses his tactical shotgun scope to get a better look at the hulking figure.
Because everyone knows tactical
Everyone knows.
shotgun scopes are so well known to be to have a lot of zoom on them.
They're very precise weapons, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like they're waiting for us.
Oh, I just got another text. Who could that be? It says, "Come inside."
All right, Benji.
We've been made. We've been made.
Burn them.
It's the gas
peel
pedal.
out.
No, I
Would it be-
imagine you hit the gas and just crash through the front of the store. It just comes out with guns and IEDs. Ah!
All right.
I will remind you. You guys are sitting in a jambulance.
Oh yeah.
Smart.
I just thought of this,
We
Benedict.
turn on the
Maybe
siren.
we should turn on the. We could jam there.
That's not. There's no siren.
Why don't you jam the phones, and then as soon as you do that, we'll walk up to make sure they can't communicate if this is a setup of sorts.
All right. I'll hang back. You two go in.
All right,
You ready, Hank?
I'm ready. And
You
Hank
flip the
will take. Yeah, and Hank will take his big pistol.
Okay. Yeah, you can
Same.
take your sidearms.
And
And-
just make sure you got your body armor on.
Body armor. But not the FBI. I don't think it'd be wise for us to have our FBI jacket on or anything like that.
And you are turning the jammer on.
Yeah.
Okay. The second you turn the jammer on, you see the guy in the back of the store suddenly like wince with pain,
Oh,
and a hand shoots up to his ears. You see him pull an ear mic like out of his ear, and you see him like fiddling with his belts and stuff like that. And the guy in the suit turns around, seems to say something to him, like "What the hell's wrong with you?" kind of thing. Like,
Hmm.
Benji puts the cloak on,
do you put the hood up?
and he puts the hood up.
Benji, when you do this, you've tried to kind of derive how this thing works before, but as you put the hood up, you become innately aware that you can use this item to become transformed, disguised as anyone you know very, very well. Even maybe anyone you have known very well. In fact, I would go so far as to say anyone on your bonds list.
turn into me.
Benji transforms into Dolly Parton.
Not on the list, I'm afraid. Don't you edit. You get your hands off that keyboard.
Hey, could you turn into an Arby's burger?
Benji
I don't know. Let me try real quick.
Benji focuses real hard and tries to turn into an Arby's burger.
Okay. You're not able
And
to.
this is why you don't give your players any room.
This is why you don't let them do things, because this is the kind of bullshit they do.
Do I look any different, Hank?
No.
Roast beef and cheddar.
You look delicious.
So,
Hank starts
so
drooling.
by the way, real quick, who's driving? Who's driving? Who drove here?
I
I
reckon.
think I'm driving.
Okay.
Benedict drove. Who's in the passenger
Yeah,
seat?
I don't know.
Hank's in the back.
Hank's in the back, and Benji's doing this
Guess
all.
Benji will be in the
Okay.
passenger seat, I guess.
Okay. You're doing all this in the passenger seat.
I'm gonna turn into Dr. Wendy Wright, my mentor. Yeah, I will do that.
You focus on that. You focus on Wendy Wright, and like I said, and just kind of putting on this thing this time, it seemed to kind of just come to you innately. And you kind of struggle with what you have to do at first, and then finally you find yourself saying her name out loud as you close your eyes.
Wendy Wright.
As he says that, I need you to roll 1d4.
Okay. Here we go. 1d4. Did it roll? 4. Wait. Yes? Yeah.
Why don't you take 4 sanity damage?
Holy shit.
Damn.
Why don't you take 4 sanity damage as you feel this change come over you?
Oh no.
Fuck me. I was excited about that 4 too. I was like, I did good.
By the way, why don't the other 2 of you give me a sanity check
Oh god.
man.
as you watch this
I
happen
knew it.
before your
I knew it.
eyes?
Hank failed. Fuck.
Fail Benedict.
You know,
We
it's
all just go insane.
you know
in the
it's
van
even worse
after
than
he puts
being the
on a
one
blankie.
wearing the cloak of truth when someone uses it. Watching it happen. Do you guys want to roll the d6 or do you want me to roll it?
What the fuck?
I'll do it.
4.
So much. I got a 3.
Each of you go ahead and take 4 and 3 sanity
Gee.
damage.
God, I am 1 away from
Hold
my
on.
breaking point.
Shit.
Unless you want to deflect. You can always deflect.
Oh, forget about reflecting. Yep.
Joe,
I'm also 1 away.
you never told me what my new sanity breaking point was, or it changed or something. Because I'm still at like 1 away, but I went under, and that's why I got the paranoia.
Let me look. Your breaking point, your sanity points. Okay, how many... Do you remember how much sanity damage you had that you had to tack on at the end when you guys came back to the real world?
I did not remember that.
Shit. That's not good. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to say it was 5. So let's take you down to 38. And let's do 42 minus. Your new one is 32. There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, who wants to deflect? Anybody?
I'm just gonna deflect.
Yes.
I also need to deflect, but
I mean,
there's a
sorry,
chance
I'm not
that
gonna
I'm
deflect.
still gonna go.
That you're
there's a
gonna
chance
have
that
a
I'm still
full-on
gonna go
break? Wow. I was not expecting this to happen. So if you,
Hank chooses to break.
No, I don't go under. I just take it, but I'm not going under my sanity point.
Okay.
My new breaking point, I'm not going under it.
yeah, so go ahead and everyone roll a d4 who wants to deflect.
Okay. There's a 2 for Benji.
One
That means
for
I'm still
Benedict.
going under.
Man, oh man. All right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, everyone. So decrease how much you lost by that number. Benedict deflected, I think, all of his.
Oh, fuck me. This is such a
No.
bad idea.
All right.
Not a great plan.
Not a super great plan. Okay, so, but here's the thing. You can, if you would like to, instead of going insane at this moment, if you want to repress your insanity, you can do that.
What does it look like when you repress your insanity? Because I'm gonna,
What
even with
cost?
2 taken off, I'm gonna go 2 past. I'm gonna go 1 past my breaking point. My breaking point's 36. I'll be at 35.
So what you'll do is you'll pay some willpower to attempt another sanity check, and if you pass that sanity check, you will not go crazy right now.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. And I also need to subtract 1 from, or is it subtract 2 from my bonds? The first time I rolled a
Yep.
sanity
You
check.
need to roll subtract from a bond however much you rolled with that d4.
What happens? So I'm disguised as Wendy Wright right now,
Yeah, you're
and I
right.
only have 1 point in her as a bond. What would happen if I subtracted it from her while I'm disguised as
you
her?
and Wendy.
Ooh.
I think when all this is said and done, I think Wendy's probably going to have some blowback from this. And I don't know. I think she's probably going to connect it with you or assume that it was you. Because you're on the news in Boston. And then she was spotted in Boston doing stuff. She's going to assume that you're behind this. And I think she's probably going to kind of cut your relationship. Your already extremely tenuous relationship. I think she's going to probably cut it out.
Very well. 1 subtracted from Dr. Wendy Wright. That bond is dead.
Okay. Roll me. So you're going to attempt to repress the insanity
As Wendy.
as Wendy.
And I'm going to subtract 1 from Zara as well. And then, yeah, I'm going to roll to repress its sanity. So just another d4.
Yep, roll me a d4. That's just going to be how much willpower it's going to cost you. And also, you already paid willpower to repress. So pay that 2 willpower.
Let me do that first. Subtracting 2 willpower. Alright. Roll in a d4. 2.
That's how much you're going to pay. That's how much you're paying to do this. So produce that as well. Okay. Now, you were
Reduce
going...
that from willpower again.
Willpower again, yes. Now, you're going to make a sanity check. Now, so, this is completely coincidental. On page 70 of the player's handbook, psychoactive sedatives. Taking benzodiazepines like diazepam or clonazepam gives your agent a 20% bonus to roll to repress an acute episode of a disorder.
Hey, addiction!
Yay, addiction! So you actually have some stuff on board already. I know it's not specifically a benzo, but we're going to say you've already got something on board. That's going to help you a little bit. So roll this sanity check. Take a plus 20.
San plus 20.
Let's see. Pardon me.
Success! 8 under 57.
You hold it together. Ugh.
Jeez.
Keep in mind, you hold it together for a little while. You're going to have to pay the piper. Okay?
What happens to my disguise now that I'm not bonded with Wendy Wright anymore?
Nothing. And you guys saw this. You guys saw this happen to Benji. You guys saw him morph into this woman who you've never seen before. You heard him say Wendy Wright beforehand. And Benji, you feel something snap within you. So, but for all intents and purposes, you guys are good to go? Question mark?
Do I sound different?
I think you do.
Probably. You gotta just assume the identity, right?
Let's
Well,
see.
I don't know if we heard the woman talk that was
Yeah,
disguised.
you did, and it sounded exactly like her. Oh, exactly like her. Yeah, you sound like Wendy Wright as well.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, Benji, I'm gonna assume that's you now. God. I'm just gonna operate this microphone. You fucking crazy people, go get at him.
I mean, you guys.
Get at him.
Benji.
Uh-oh.
That name
no.
sounds so familiar. Benji.
And as you two are looking at him, or Benji, even as you look at yourself in the rearview mirror on the passenger side of the car, you guys can see this, but you instinctively, having seen it come on, but there's a part of you that instinctively knows it's an illusion. You know that there's something shaky about it. You don't know it. I will say you think that this is probably because you saw it come on, or because you've seen everything you've seen up to this point. You think to the average bear, this is probably fine.
Let's just try to put it together for a little bit.
Oh, wait a second. The man in the suit was standing there. Was the van facing the store? Did you guys just pull up with the front windshield just facing the store?
No,
Well,
that
we're
would be silly.
surveillancing it. We're probably in the parking lot. You know.
Okay,
We're
so we'll say
looking
the
at-
man in the suit
You make
does
the
not
call.
roll. I don't think it would have been the smart thing to just pull straight up to the.
Yeah, we wanted to see who was around before we got out.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be funny if he saw you do this, and now
We aren't the smartest
and
group.
now he's like,
That's
shit.
defeating
the-
the point of the disguise.
Right.
Let me transform
In front of
right
you.
in front of the dude.
Just cause insanity wherever you walk.
Why not turtley enough for the turtle club?
Wow.
You get out. Hank and Benji? Question mark. Get out.
Yes. This will probably be fine. Quite right, Hank. This will probably be fine.
Hank, this
Does
is
Benedict
bizarre.
hear anything in preparation?
All you hear is, if you pull out the mic and you're listening to the door, you hear the man in the suit. He's like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And the guy in the back, you can hear kind of distant. He's like, "Something's wrong with my mic. Something's wrong with my head mic. It's all. I just have to turn it off." It's when you turn the ambulance on. So yeah.
Hank just like let's go and see what this is about. Hank walks out and tries to approach the man.
You walk in. The door's not locked, even though the sign says closed. You walk in, and he.
What about the guy at the front?
In the suit?
Was he outside?
No, he's inside
was
the
he
store.
outside?
Oh, I thought he was
he was-
outside the store.
No, he was standing just inside the glass door. You can see him.
Okay.
He's standing there, and he sticks out a hand to whoever. He says, "Robert Norris of Keys, Norris, Ingalls, and Grant."
Hank just
Right. Wendy Wright. Dr. Wendy Wright.
Wendy Wright. He has there sitting on the counter is like a little tiny notebook, like a that you take little notes in. He picks it up and looks at it, and you see that there are names on it, your names, your real names. He's like, "Wendy Wright, I don't have that. Are you Mr. Ellis?"
Appearances can be deceiving, darling.
He turns. He says like, "And you, sir, I don't recognize you. I was
talking to me.
Yeah." He's like, "I was supposed to meet with Hank Ellis, Benedict Farthington, and Benjamin Potts."
Well, plans change. We represent them nonetheless. So, what exactly is this about?
I represent Mr. Wist and his estate. I am one of the firm who runs his affairs. Mr. Wist reached out to us. Apparently, you and your friends are in quite the pickle.
That's one way to put it.
And there's probably a little television there that probably has the news cycle on it. And he kind of glances up to another airing of your faces. But again, he kind of looks up at the TV. He looks at you, and what's weird, Hank, is he looks at you, and the way he looks at you, it's like he's not making the connection between you.
That
and the
clown
picture on
did
the
some
screen.
shit to me. I don't know what happened with the clown.
He's like,
Well,
it's like,
we are familiar with Mr. Wist to a certain extent, and what
Yes,
he's accused of.
That is quite. It's quite interesting. I was not aware that Ed had any visitors for quite some time, but that's really no matter. I was made aware that he owes you something, but also that you owe him a service.
You're right. Wist is like somehow the same thing as Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Much as you are a representative of Mr. Wist, we are representatives of our clients, and yes. Things are owed. Let us settle the debts.
I want one of you.
I'm imagining Benji's never gonna take this thing off.
It's just gonna be him.
His insanity is just going around in a blanket. He's gonna shower with it. And
Well, okay, so
He's lost. He's lost.
And Benedict is listening to all this, and Benedict, you don't know what's happening. The two of you, whoever has the higher, either persuade or charisma roll, whoever has the highest score in that. What is your score?
Let me pull up Wendy Wright's stats.
Go ahead and pull up Wendy Wright's stats.
You said persuade or what?
Debater.
Oh, give me your persuade. What's your persuade?
Mine is 72.
Benji / Wendy has 46. Benji. Wenji? Wenji.
Wednesday.
What did you say Hank was? I'm sorry.
72.
All right, make me
Off the charts.
Make me a roll. Hank, make me a persuade roll at a +20.
Success.
What'd you get?
Barely. 83.
That's, I mean, like I said, technically that's
But
good.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, getting
yeah.
a high success is better than a low success. This guy, this Robert, was it Robert Norris? He says, well, he says, so, if I understand correctly, you, Mr. Wist's note, and he's flipping through this little notebook he has. He says, Mr. Wist stated in my correspondence with him that that your previous service was no longer going to be applicable, but that you need to perform a new service. And that in response, he will provide you with whatever it is you need.
Whatever it is we need. I think we need quite a lot.
And what is the new service?
Yes, let me take a look at that. He is going to reach in and he is going to pull out a. He's going to pull out
When she reaches down to her pistol.
He says, oh, and you see the man in the back.
Slowly,
The man in the back has walked forward a bit, and you see that he is standing there, hands in front of him, hands kind of clasped in front of him, making his own pistol quite obvious. And when you jerk back, he says he also goes back to his, and he's like, up, that's fine, it's fine. Everyone's a little on edge here, I understand. The details are here. And he brings out a file folder and hands it to you.
Okay. Wenji will take a look at it.
You see that there's a short list of instructions that specifically states, it looks like from what you can tell, it's a step-by-step guide on how to enter the Boston Prudential Tower, which is like one of the big high-rises downtown. And it states... It has a set of room numbers, both floors and room numbers, and it states that you need to enter the tower, enter the building, turn on all of these lights after business hours at night, and then you must call the Boston Globe, which is, like the big newspaper in Boston.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Will we be able to meet with this in person with your representative if we do this?
I'm sure you understand that Mr. Wist is quite indisposed. We handle all of his affairs outside of the hospital.
Then how will he give us what we need if we do this act?
I and my partners will be handling that for you. I want you to understand, gentlemen, it was no shortage of string pulling just getting me here to do this in person, but Mr. Wist apparently takes this very seriously, insisted that one of his partners be present. Would you roll?
Serious fumble. I was going to do an intelligence roll to see if I could tell what these windows would spell out. I'm assuming it's like it spells out something,
not.
and then you called, then we're calling. Is that right? Oh, it's probably the yellow sign. What am I thinking? On the building.
Occam's razor.
But that's
man.
what's going on, right? We have to turn on these lights on different floors,
Right.
basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you just crack the code?
I think he cracked the code.
Well, not Hank.
Okay.
Brad, maybe, not Hank.
This is what happens when you have Brad as a friend. This is exactly like the time that he spoiled The
things.
Sixth Sense for me. 3/4 of the way through the movie. Oh shit! He's dead! Well, fuck, let's turn it off. Let's go do something else. Thanks, Brad.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's he's like, well, do you need any other details? I have a phone number here that you can contact as well. I believe I was texting one of you already on it.
Yes, that would be me. Wendy Wright.
Wendy Wright. Yes, he writes down your name.
Wendy Wright.
Wendy Wright.
Toss my hair.
So is there anything else I can do for you? For you two? you need more
Well,
details?
yes, Mr. What was his name?
He's Harris or Norris.
Mr. Norris.
Yes, sorry.
You can give this to your client. And Wenji rips out a page from his journal and hands it over to Mr. Norris.
Is there something specific on this journal?
What is it?
It's the beginning of a story.
Oh. Oh,
cool.
Okay, like you've
like
written,
a down payment.
yeah.
Consider this
Nice.
a down payment.
He will
Mr.
he will look at it puzzled and folds it, but then his face becomes somber. He's like, "Oh, okay, yes," and he folds it very carefully and puts it like gingerly and puts it like in his briefcase. Yes, I will ensure that Mr. Whist gets this.
Right.
And you also
I believe go ahead.
you hear a beeping "Burp, burp, 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 burp," from the parking lot, and Benedict's got his window rolled down. He says, "Guns! Guns!
Guns!
Grenades!
You shout out guns over the parking lot.
Grenades!" is what he shouts in the parking lot. This is not Flavor. He's gonna do that.
Okay.
Wait, why is he doing that?
He wants grenades
He wants
from
he
these
wants them
people.
to he wants to ask for
Oh.
weaponry.
Ask for guns.
Hank does have grenades. I don't know how many left, but
You
that
have-
is something he has.
You have flashbang grenades. You don't
Flashbangs.
have
No,
real
we need
No, I.
we need percussive frags.
Well, we can check that, but I'm pretty sure I wrote that down as part of like
Oh,
the
you-
Marshall's thing.
Did get some well, you wouldn't have regular grenades, but I feel like did you guys get grenades?
Might want
I
to
don't
check
think-
the handbook. I wrote that down,
I don't remember. I don't
and
think
it's in
you have
it's in my
grenades.
paragraph. Like Marshall has access to
Is it?
SWAT,
Okay.
okay.
but
Mr. Norris, apropos of nothing, do you possibly have any explosives you could sell us?
Explosives. No, I do not.
Improvised explosive devices, grenades, napalm, things of that nature. You know.
I think I might. Gerald. He turns around. He's like,
Gerald.
Gerald. Make some arrangements for our as a one-time courtesy for our friends here. Make some arrangements. Get them some weapons. I don't know about that. Gerald. And the guy, he said C4. Get you C4.
Delightful, Gerald, delightful. And you make sure to tell Mr. Whist if he likes the beginning of that story, there's more where it came from. And she winks at him and tosses her hair because she's so sexy, because she's a 45-year-old cougar.
Wouldn't she be 65-year-old now?
She's a 65-year-old gray cougar.
Dragon.
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 All right. He says we will we'll be in touch.
If we're lucky, we will.
Being very unnecessarily flirty. It's making me feel funny. All right. Then is there anything? If there's nothing else, please try to have this completed by tonight. And then I believe Mr. Whist has offered to something to. I'm sorry, gentlemen. You have to understand. Ed is often not confused, just cryptic. He says he can get you where you need to go. So I assume there's some payment that you've previously discussed with him.
Quite.
Yes, well, let us run along. I believe the owner of this establishment will be back soon.
Ta-ta, Gerald. And
Gerald gives you a nod.
guess they leave.
Okay. Yeah, you guys get back out to the car. Benedict, these guys sit down. If you guys look over these plans, Brad, you son of a bitch, you if you guys start, if you kind of map this out, or even if you pull up a picture of the Prudential Tower in Boston, you can kind of work out that indeed that you think that if you turn all these lights on, that you are going to create the yellow sign on the front of a building that overlooks tens of thousands of people. And then you're going to call the newspaper, and the newspaper's going to come down. They're probably going to take some pictures, you know? And
Well, a debate for another time. For next episode.
so
Yeah.
this is a question of what you guys are going to do. But I think that's probably a good place for us to go ahead and stop. I know some of us have some things we need to get to, but this is getting it's getting good.
It's getting
It's
spicy.
already getting good. I like this. But yeah.
This is some Fight Club shit.
Yeah, that's what I was
At
thinking.
the end of Fight Club.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. Everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. It's great to have the opportunity to actually get together and tell this fun story and get to share it with people. If you want to catch the episodes early, you want to get some of our other stuff that we have, go ahead and head over to the Patreon, linked in the description of wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. It's only $3. It helps support us. Get this a week early. Also, head over to Reddit or Twitter. Check out our stuff. We have announcements there when we have announcements. And I think beyond that, I want to thank our most 3 recent Patreons that we have, Jean, Kurt, and Emu. Thank you very much for joining us.
Weigh in on the Reddit.
you very
Should
much.
Benji never take this robe off?
Dude,
Should he
that
just
might be a
completely
good question.
become a different character?
Should he just keep this on
Yep.
from now on?
Take to the polls?
Are you tired of hearing this voice?
If you want to hear Wendy right, but just know that Benji's in there, let us know. But yeah, guys, thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Very
Joe.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you
too.
very much.
That's good.
Yeah, and
Good fun.
for everyone else, everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you for joining us again. We always appreciate it. We're glad to bring you on the ride, bring you along on the jambulance, and I believe we will catch you next time. And remember, everyone, stay safe and stay sane. Bye.
Adios.
Nice.